Fellow tennis nerds, I hope you are well. It's time to talk about some of the best rackets of this year so far and out on the market right now. So the best rackets right now, according to me, this is just me. I usually include many voices in my videos. In this one, I will just talk about my experiences with recent rackets and some of the disappointments and some of the surprises, positive ones I've had so far in 2026, and also discuss a little bit about the current crop of rackets, including last year's frame. And we're going to go through the categories: control, spin, power, and I hope you enjoy it. And I want to hear your opinions in the comments. What racket works the best for you? What do you think they should work on in rackets in general? Feel free to comment below. Let's go. Alright, so the best rackets right now on the market. Obviously, rackets have gotten better and better and better and better overall, I would say. More forgiving, more easy to use. But this year, it took a little bit of a turn. I've not been so excited about some of the releases this year, the more I've played with them. So I thought it would be important, since I get so many questions about rackets and consultations that I do on a weekly basis. I thought it would be good to kind of have a halfway point now, almost, of the year, or quarterly point, and go through it. So let's start with the control segment. I know many of you love control rackets. You love the precision, the feel. You want to be 100% in control of your shots. Nothing wrong with that. Rackets are getting more powerful, more spinny, and so on. You don't need to follow the trend. So for some, it will be much easier to play tennis. For others, it will lead to frustration because you're overhitting and so on. My main control racket that I usually recommend to people, because I find it so dependable, is the Head Radical MP. It's very orange. Some people might not like it for that reason, but it is a good and dependable racket that is relatively easy to use. My friend Stefan, who is working with me on Tennis Nerd, he's been following the sport for a long time, but haven't really played much. Last year, we started trying to improve him and trying to get him to play matches and so on. So if you want to follow Stefan's journey, there will be more videos to come. And he's rapidly improving because he used to play football. He used to be a pretty athletic guy in terms of ball sports. Plays golf, so he's not hopeless by any means. But obviously, tennis is one of the most difficult sports there is. So if you're curious about his journey and want to join in, say hi, Stefan, in the comments. Why I mentioned Stefan is that this is the racket I gave to him, the Radical MP, and that's the one he's been most connected to. He actually started because he loved the looks of the Nordic Dots Model 98 Pro. But the 98 Pro, which is a great racket, I really like it, but it's too heavy for him. In the end, he felt like when he started playing points, it got a bit heavy. It's 310 grams unstrung, so there was the issue. Still, one of the rackets should be mentioned as probably my favorite control racket, at least one of them, is the 98 Pro. I think it's the best Nordic Dots frame for me. But the Radical MP is also high on my list, and that's easier to swing. It's 300 grams unstrung, a little bit easier to use. It's a kind of a semi-stiff racket, so don't string it so high. I feel like it works best around like 20 kilos, 44 pounds. Put a medium soft poly in there. Otoro Spin, Solinco Hyper G soft, these kind of strings, even Polytour Pro from Yonex. And you'll have a good experience. It's a good racket for sure. So this one I usually want to mention. I think is still one of the best control rackets on the market. I also have to mention the new blade. I feel like that was an improvement. The Blade 98 1619 would be the main competitor with the Radical here of the main brands in the control segment. Of course, I could throw in a Technifiber T-Fight for a bit more pop, but it can be semi-firm to some players, I've noticed. So I'll mention it. It should be there. The T-Fight from last year, it got rave reviews, especially the 1819 version, the 305S. But it's a little bit firmer, so keep that in mind. It's kind of raw. It's not so dampened. So it should be mentioned, but it's not maybe my main recommendation here. So Blade, Radical, these are pretty obvious choices. You want a bit more forgiving Radical, you can check out the functional Tennis 99, which I thought was a pretty fun racket and that I actually pick up and play quite a lot. I don't really love the design of it with the blue, the dark blue. So I do have an old prototype that Fabio gave me that I prefer, but it's black and glossy, so I can't tend to prefer that. But that is a fun racket. So if you want like a Radical that is easier to use, functional Tennis 99 could be worth checking out. I'll link to these rackets in the description, by the way. So that's the control segment. Blade, Radical. If you like a bit of heft, Model 98 Pro from Nordic Dots. It's gonna be pretty heavy, but I find it very good. Also mentioned functional tennis 99. Babolat control racket right now, not something I love 100% there. Percept 97 could be mentioned from Yonex. I find it a bit too mushy, muted, dampened. That's my, so I'm talking about my preferences here. You might throw in whatever racket brand or blast from the past you want in the comments, but these are what I like right now. And if I would pick one just from my pile of loads and loads of rackets at home, I would go with these rackets I mentioned right now. That's the control category. Right, spin category. This is a huge category. Do we need a spin and a power category? Could we like mesh them together? I've discussed that in previous videos. But spin category for me, I did not like the new rackets in the spin category so much this year. I've been playing a lot with them. Aero 2026, V-Core 2026. They don't really do it for me. The V-Core feel like a bit slower. Yeah, it looks better. It looks red and gloss. It's nice, but it just feels a bit slower. And yeah, it doesn't have the same nice feel and I think comfort that the 2023 had, especially the 98 was a favorite. I have not tried the 95, so that's a caveat. Maybe I missed the golden standard of that lineup. I did not get that sent to me. Maybe I'll buy one and check it out. If you love that one, let me know in the comments. Same with arrows. The 100, I felt like I was very good, but it's that something with the feel. It feels kind of metallic, a little bit pingy. I cannot trust the 98 as much as I can trust my old Aero 98 2023. So the Aero 98 2023, for me, is better. And I like it. I stocked up on that one. I have a bunch. You can probably see that in my videos. V-Core 98 2023 is also a good spin racket. I can really recommend that one. Maybe if you want like less known brands, there's the Nordic Dots 99G2, which we just reviewed. That's a good spin frame. It's a bit too flexible for me for a spin racket, but many of the other reviews loved it. Diadem Axis 98 that Svitolina uses could be interesting as well. I find that pretty interesting frame, kind of muted as well. So I'm still Aero 98 here. That's my main go-to racket, and I just find it the best one and hard to improve on. There has some kind of magic in that frame that is really difficult to mimic. And I could maybe put the Technifiber Fire in here because I really like the Fire 305. But is that a power racket or a spin racket? So I put it in the power racket just for the sake of it. But yeah, Aero 98 2023. I'm sorry, that's simply my favorite of this lineup. Power rackets. Now we go to power. This is not like a shocking category in my preferences. I've mentioned them on tennisnerd.net. There's a lot of written content there with comparisons. If you want comparisons, you check out tennisnerd.net. We try to have a lot of articles where we like Pure Drive versus E-Zone, blah, blah, blah. The best 100 square inch power racket for me is the Pure Drive 100. It's the best Pure Drive maybe in history. I think it's really excellent, has good dampening relatively speaking, some lift, but still very dependable. My friend Daniel, who's been in many of my videos, switched to it. I get it. It's a good frame. So that is my favorite power racket still. But it has some competition from the Mizuno Acro Speed. This is a more comfortable Pure Drive. It's a little bit more dampened, so it might not be that kind of desired crispness, but these two are the ones I probably pick up from the lineup of power rackets. The E-Zone 100 I'm not so much in love with. I felt like it's a bit too much now. 2022 was better in my opinion. I think they went too far. However, if you go to the 98 square inch category, the E-Zone 98 is my winner. I don't love the feel, but it produces powerful shots, easy on slice, good on volleys, one-handed backhand feels great. So it's a great racket, but the feel, that is usually what's... it's a bit metallic also in the feel. I don't like that metallic feel that is kind of in the new Pure arrows and here. So yeah, that's not my vibe. Maybe you love it, so then you should check out these frames. But I don't like it when it's too pingy. I feel like there's too much vibration in it. I'm not saying they're harsh rackets, but it's just the sound and the feel of the frame, if you know what I mean. All right, so Pure Drive, Acro Speed, E-Zone 98, those are excellent power rackets. I could mention the Mantis here. There was a Mantis PS300 that I've actually been playing pretty well with. I should give that a little bit of kudos because that's actually a nice power racket. So if you want a racket that you don't see a lot of players on tour or, you know, on the club level with, the Mantis one could be checked out. I think the pricing is pretty good there as well. So I'll link that one, the Mantis, below as well. Versatile rackets. There's so many control rackets that are kind of getting a 100 square inch version, like the Blade 100 and Dunlop CX 400. So bit tricky category. In the end, I think, yeah, if you like a 100 square inch control racket, I would mention the Speed. That's a very good racket. Versat 100D. I do like the Prince Tour 100P, the new one coming soon as well. That's a good one. That's in the kind of control large head size frame. Versatile frames. Interesting category. Not sure it should be a category. Not sure where to place these frames. A lot of players love the Speed because of its versatility, and you have many players on tour. So if you can generate enough spin, if you're a spin game and you like some control, I think the Speed MP is a good frame. That's the versatility category. Easy to use, lower level to intermediate to beginner rackets. Head squared, one of the most fun rackets I've played with. Ultra head light, really whippy. You can play squash, you can play tennis. It's a fun racket. Check it out if this is what you do. If you want to play like easy tennis, you're maybe not like a high level player, but you just want to have fun on the court. The head squared makes your tennis better. You might want to add some weight to the head, and then it's going to be even better. That's what I did. One racket I should also mention here is the Solinco Blackout 110. I find that racket to be really fun to use, easy. It's an oversized frame. You can play veteran doubles. You can just have fun with it. It's an easy to use frame that does many things well, good stability and so on. Might be too wild for singles play, but if you play doubles, I think this one could be very good. The Solinco Blackout. It's a bit more solid on volleys. Like this squared, it's decent on volleys, but yeah, there's a risk with the very open pattern that the ball might shoot a little bit longer. So maybe not the best doubles racket after all. All right, so there are some rackets yet to try from me, and that is the Blade 100 Pro that Henrik raves about, and that Eric is now testing, a few of my tennis friends that are in my videos. So I really want to try the Blade 100 Pro. I do really like the Steam 100 Pro stock, so that's the one I've tried a lot and I played with for a while. So if it's anywhere close to that, which I think it is, maybe a bit more dampened, it should be good. Yonex Muse, I have not tried. I don't know where to get these Yonex rackets in Europe, like Yonex Muse. Yonex there seem to be on back order everywhere. Tough to get. If I can get one, I will happily review it. I should have bought one in the US. That was a mistake, but here we go. And then we have the VCore 95 that I mentioned. But right now, as you can hear here, there's not like so many rackets that came out in 2026 that are on this list. And yeah, it's not been like the most exciting year so far. It was on paper supposed to be super exciting. Maybe we see with the Wilson P rackets coming out later in summer, and we have to do an update then. I have tried them, but Wilson don't want me to talk about them so much, so I will not talk about them. But the review to come for the P rackets when they're out. This is where we are so far. Nothing super exciting as of yet. The fun racket is the head squared, really good one. And I will keep you posted on the rackets yet to try. Have a nice day now, and don't forget to play some tennis.